Page 37, my new piece. Music's starting to get a little more involved. You look at it, it's got, rhythms getting mixed up. We're still using the two notes we've been using, the F and the C. The rhythm's getting a little more involved. There's a lot more measures in this one than there has been. And in this lesson, they're introducing a thing called tempo. Up at the top of the page. Tempo, another Italian word. For us, it means speed. What is the tempo of the piece? Means how fast or slow does the piece go? What's the speed of the piece? And speed is one of the things that I do in my process. It's toward the end. Again, we use a lot of Italian terms for speed. Not everybody does, but you'll see them a lot. In this piece, you'll notice it says moderately. Well, that's not Italian, that's American. The Italian word would be moderato, and that's really, in my opinion, what they should be putting in here. But moderate speed just means in the middle, not fast or slow. Just, to me, a moderate speed is when you're walking someplace, you're not in a hurry to get there, but you know where you're going. You're on a mission, you're headed someplace, you're walking there. That, to me, is a moderato. You'll have to decide what moderato is. It's not a set speed, it's a range. How do you feel? It depends on what's in the music. Sometimes it's not the speed of the beat, it's the speed of the feel of the piece. We'll get there. Don't worry about all that right now. For us, for now, it's going to be the speed of the beat. We'll just stick with that at first. Now in the upper right-hand corner, they give you the sight reading stuff. The idea was sight reading, and sight reading is important. It's a good skill to have. Is you sit down and you play music first time you see it, and you perform it. You do everything in the process I use for learning the piece of music. I do it all in one chunk, all together, and I try and perform the music right off the bat. Just read it at sight. And well, they're just showing you the notes we've had so far, so you just read all of those at sight. Just you read them, play the note, and count it, and try and get the right fingers. And it's a good skill to have. The more you do it, the more you'll get better at it, because as any skill is that way, you got to practice it. And reading, whether you're reading a book or reading music, it's a skill. The more you do it, the faster you will get and the better you will get at it. Now, I'll go through the process here and let's see what we got going on here in this piece thing. I look it over, it's one line long. Granted, it's a longer line than before, but again, I just want an idea of how long it is. The clef signs are still treble clef on top and bass clef on the bottom. The time signature here is 4/4 time signature, and I just glance through it. I see half notes and quarter notes and whole notes. Okay. It looks like it's all for the left hand. The top staff just has whole rests in it. So you can leave your right hand on the lap. Now let's try it first. Now, if the rhythm is tricky, then I'll forget the rhythm and just play the notes. Well, we're in this position because we're playing these notes. You have a little finger on F and then thumb on middle C. That's where we are here. Because you also have to consider where you're at, and so you look at the finger numbers to tell you where to start. So you might move around in the piece, so I'm not concerned about that. I just want to know where I am to start here. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then together, 1, 2. You get the idea? So I go through the whole thing at your speed, not mine, and you play it all through, and then go back over it. For how long it takes, who knows? Get rid of all the hesitations. So it's a steady beat at some speed. You can speed it up later. Don't worry about the tempo marking now. Just try and get at no hesitations. Go as slow as you got to go. And once you can do that, then I add the dynamics. Here it's just MF at the beginning. It's mezzo forte, which is sort of loud. Not loud, just sort of loud. Moderately loud. Whatever, I don't know. That's up to you. Then once I can do that, I add the tempo. Moderately is in kind of walking someplace. 1, 2, it's a range. It's a felt thing. 1, 2. 2. That's how it is for me now. With a couple cups of coffee, that will change, I'm sure. I play by feel. Let's start talking a little bit about feeling, the interpretation. The interpretation is like about the last thing I do. First, you got to get all the mechanical stuff out of the way. You can't be thinking about notes and rhythms and all that stuff when you're feeling the music. All that needs to be pretty much automatic. And you start feeling the music. Now, the dynamics and the tempo, that's part of interpreting the music. They're helping you out. They're telling you a little bit about how to interpret the music. But music doesn't tell you everything. Never does. It's up to you. Add the feeling. And the first thing I do when adding the feeling is I add what's known as the natural accents. The book will get around to teaching them to you eventually, but I'm teaching them to you now because I want you to start thinking about interpreting the music, because it takes a while to get the hang of it. So we'll just add that to the mess we're doing and hope for the best, I think. But the strongest natural accent there is in any time signature is the first beat of a measure. You can usually tell where the first beat of a measure is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I'm exaggerating it to get the point across. The point is we want to feel that too. So I'm going to play the first beat of each measure just a little louder. I'm going to play it a lot louder so you can hear it better, but the idea is to feel it. 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So that's where we're going to start, in addition to the dynamics and speed. So when you're playing it, after you play it okay and you're not looking at the keyboard, you're thinking about getting into the music, try and get some feeling in the music, put in the natural accents. They're natural because you feel them, you don't force them. Because there are accents in music that we force. This isn't them. This is the felt thing. Let's play this together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, off. Now there is a duet for this at the bottom of the page. I'd like to play that. And you play what you just played. You can play right where it's at, don't have to move. I'm going to give us 4 counts and I'm going to speed it up a little bit. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 3, 4, off.